All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this live show on VBank. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for joining in. I can see lots of you coming on the live feed. We're happy to have you, and very soon we're going to also have our guests. Today we have two guests on this show, and we'll be speaking on the economy. We'll be speaking also on businesses. We'll be speaking on personal finance, and we'll be speaking on how you especially can benefit from the VBank. So you've heard so far, you've heard everything about VBank, about how you can use the app, download the app, and how you can do your target saving and all of that. But trust me, this is another level, how you can actually make money off VBank. And you're going to be hearing about that in the course of this conversation today. Also, in the course of the conversation, I know that there's so many people who are worried about what they're going to do, how businesses will survive, whether salaries will come, and all of that. We'll be addressing all of that today on this program. And I know that at the end of it, you would have had enough information that helps you to plan for your business and all of that going forward. So my name is Sam Chidoka, and I'm MD/CEO at Kairos Capital and Investment Banking Firm, resident in Lagos. We're SEC registered, and we seek to be your advisor of choice. But today, I've got my V cap for the VBank, and I will be speaking to two very important people that will be a part of this. Now, ground rules: if you have any questions, you can just type them up while the program is going on, while the guests are talking. If you have any questions, I'll say it, and I'll be able to get them in touch. Let me see if our first guest is here right now. Okay. Okay. Please do not request to join my video because I'm trying to get our guests to join the video. So please do not request to join the video. Chikambon is going to be joining us shortly. And once he joins, we'll add him to the video. And then we'll be able to have a conversation today that I'm sure you're going to benefit from. So Chika, if you're on, just let me get him to join the video and we can start the conversation. Okay, I'm waiting on Chika to just come on. He's going to be the first person to join our conversation today. Then after him, we're going to have Zubi Emodi also join the conversation. I can see all of you. Good evening. Thank you for being here. I can see all of you, and I promise you that we're going to have a good time doing this. So I'm just trying to get... Okay. Just... Okay, I'm still waiting to see Chika come on and be a part of the conversation this evening. But basically, like I said, we're going to be discussing around the broad issues around the economy. I know if you've been following the VBank channel and VTV, you know that we've done so many things in and around entertainment, in and around other parts of the economy in terms of, because really, as much as we're discussing entertainment, you have to understand that entertainment is still a part of our gross domestic product as a nation. But today we're going to be discussing broadly on the economy, and then we're also going to be discussing on personal finance, how you can prepare yourself in the midst of all the pandemic that we face and all the issues that come with it. So it's two-faced as far as I'm concerned. There is the health challenge of the pandemic, then there is also the economic challenge of the pandemic, and that's what we're basically going to be addressing tonight. And we're just waiting for our first guest to come on and become part of this. Just give me a... Okay. Please, those that are requesting to join. Okay. Good evening, sir. Hello, Chika. Can you hear me? I've got Chika now, and I'm trying to get...
Yeah.
Okay, super. Good evening, Chika. How are you?
Give me.
Okay. Okay. Steady now.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay. Welcome, Chika. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me this evening. So, you're welcome to VTV, and I must say that you're setting a record. You're the first person who's appearing on this station, as it were, to discuss economic issues. We've been dealing with other things, but this is the first time we're discussing economic issues, and you're the first person. All right?
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's just get down to it. I'd like you to, I know you're an ex-banker, you've been there, you've done that, you're a first-class graduate of engineering, you are, you have ICANN with merits, set records while writing ICANN, you've worked at Zenith Bank, you worked at Assurance Bank, you've led different groups, you are a banker par excellence, but I know all that, but our listeners may not know that. So just in a brief, tell us briefly about yourself. Let us meet you.
Okay, my name is Chika Bono. First degree is in civil engineering. I did it very well. And then changed my career. And for the fact that the chartered accountant, I also did it very well. Got the banking bug and joined Guarantee Trust Bank as a foundation staff in 1990. And the journey continued to the highest levels in banking. And since 2004, I left day-to-day active banking, and I went back to what I was trained for in KPMG Accenture at Anderson, which was my first place I worked. So I'm a full-time consultant now, just trying to make individuals and companies better. That's what I do. You know, trying to make companies and individuals better, you know.
Fantastic, fantastic. You're welcome. Welcome, and thank you for giving us your time. Now, so we're in a pandemic, and it is very clear. So what is your take on how far this coronavirus pandemic is able to affect the Nigerian economy on a national scale?
Okay, I mean, I will say something interesting here. For the medical people, they tell us that individuals who have, you know, pre-existing conditions, you know, are usually the worst affected by the coronavirus sickness. You know, so if individuals had issues like cancer before or diabetes, you know, similar sicknesses, aggressive sicknesses, they tend to be affected more by the coronavirus sickness. Now, this also applies to countries. You know, when people talk about coronavirus pandemic now, people tend to hide our problems behind it. Our problems are not being caused by the pandemic. You know, we have had historical problems in our country. And so this pandemic has just exacerbated, made it worse, or taken our problems to the next level. Do recall that in 2015, 2016, we went into a recession in our country.
Yes.
2017, we were coming out from recession and just had some marginal growth, about 2%. The growth for a country of our size, that growth rate is so small. And so we are still struggling. Population growth about 3%, GDP growth about 2%. So our per capita growth is actually negative. And so that's where we were when this pandemic issue came on top of us. So our country has been in distress. Let's not just ascribe our problems to this coronavirus. We are already in distress before the coronavirus came in. The coronavirus just made things worse for us. So that's what I can put out there.
Wow. Okay, so there is a lot of conversation around different industries, depending on who you speak to. There is morbid fear out there, and there is also conversation around different industries, which industries are more likely to be affected even more by the coronavirus. Yes, we agree that we had our economic fault lines before, but in your view, are there specific industries that are likely to get hit the hardest by the pandemic?
It was very interesting because the other day I was analyzing the quarter one result of two companies on television. The first one was MTN, and the second company was Seplat, oil and gas.
Yeah, okay.
So when I analyzed MTN, I just saw that their gross earnings grew by about 15%, driven principally by a 50% growth in their data revenue. Whereas voice revenue grew by 7%, data revenue for MTN grew by 49%. I went to Seplat, and I saw Seplat results fell woefully. They actually made a loss. So you find that when your business is positively correlated with what's happening in the environment, you profit from it. When when it reverses the case, it hurts you. And so you find that any business that has to do with pharmaceutical, logistics, telecommunication, food, agriculture, they are profiting from what's happening now. Any other business that has to do with people moving around, hospitality, aviation, even retail. That's why all our shops are closed. Any business that has to do with people moving to go there, are going to get hurt. And that's what's happening. So you notice that all the telecom companies now, even though they were moribund, all the ISPs that were struggling before, some of them are making revenues now.
Sure.
If you go to the Instagram, as you see, food delivery, is a big business now. If you go on the roads, you see all the dispatch riders there. So logistic companies are making money. So things that have to do with those key elements of the society are progressing. But when it has to do with movement, it becomes a problem. Hospitality, hotels are dead. Aviation is dead. You take it from abroad. British Airways is about to fire 12,000 employees.
Yes.
Virgin Atlantic, 3,000 people. In our own locality here, Arik in April said they're going to pay 8% salary. And then in May, there's no salary they're going to pay. Max Air has said, forget about salary for the next 3 months for employees because of the fact they're not flying. All the planes are parked there. So any business that has to do with online is profiting from this time around. That's basically what it is.
Wow. Okay. Well, you are, yes, I know you've had a long career and you still continue to be a consultant and all of that, but you've had a long time in banking. So can we come down to the finance? Let's just quickly speak to the finance subsector, especially with regards to banks and all of that. What do you see and what do you reckon are the chances of Nigerian banks coming out of this pandemic and presumably the recession that is about to hit us?
Okay. I mean, it's an interesting question. You know, and I wish Nigerian banks the best in this circumstance. 3 or 4 things are happening now. The first thing is the volume of transactions are falling. You know, when we went through the NIBS report, you know, for first week of April, second week of April, third week of April, and the fourth week of April, volumes were actually falling.
Yes.
You will expect that because people are doing more digital transactions now, volumes will be higher, but volumes are falling. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know the mere fact that all the businesses in the whole world are shut down, all the businesses in India are shut down, the main markets on market is shut down, Aba is shut down, Alaba is shut down, Transfer is shut down, will tell you that transaction volumes will reduce. So that's the first thing that's going to happen to the banks. Transaction volumes are going to reduce.
Okay.
Now, if you put that on the back of the fact that January 1 this year, the Central Bank of Nigeria reduced the charges for, you know, online transactions. You know, the banks are also being hit. A lot of them have lost about 30% of their revenues in Q1. Now, let's go to the next level, which is their loan books. Their loan books. The transaction volumes are weak. So a supermarket borrowed money from a bank and have been closed for some time now. And, you know, and a bakery closed down and some other businesses closed down. How would they service their loan? So you're going to have problem with that. So loan quality is going to also have question mark on them. But let's look at even the oil and gas sector. About 50% of the loans in the books in Nigeria are directly oil or oil related. You know, look at oil price. A lot of the analysis were done at oil price of $40 per barrel and the worst case scenario. Look at where we are today. So you know what's going to happen. Again, question mark on the loan books. So a lot of banks are going to struggle. Their provisions are going to go high. Transaction volumes are going to go lower. And they're going to still carry the cost they're carrying. Because like in Nigeria now, look at, you're not even allowed to fire your employees. Because of the fact that, you know, the government has come to intervene. But you know, I was telling some people the other day that what's going to happen is, okay, we can't fire, but we're going to reduce allowances. So banks who are smart are still going to achieve the cost reduction through reduction of allowances. So, you know, so it's going to be, as I told them the other day on TV, this Q1 that just ended, March 31st, is going to be almost like the best quarter for the banks in Nigeria. This Q2 we're in now is going to be the softest for most banks. It's going to be the softest. And this is not a way we have been before. So nobody knows what's going to happen in Q2, Q3, Q4. Some people are hoping that by June, maybe things will get better. But who knows? Who knows? Nigeria just today extended the border airport closures by 4 weeks again.
4 weeks, yes.
You know? So planes are not going to fly in Nigeria. You know, steal revenues. So one of the airlines that borrowed money from the banks, how are they going to service their loans? So the issues are going to be major for us. And the banking system is, you know, they're going to be what it was for it. Some of them, what happened when I analyzed the results of Q1, I found that some of them slowly are increasing their impairment charges, you know, in anticipation of what may go bad. Now, look at it this way. Those who are heavy in the retail lending sector, the retail lending sector, are going to get hurt. Because a lot of retail lending sectors is driven by salaries.
Yes.
So, you know, a lot of companies, look at, can you imagine if you gave retail loans to ARIC staff or to Max Air staff? So what's going to happen now? You know, look at the state government. Between the federal government and the state, they require about 650 billion naira every month to meet their expenditure level.
The FAC, yes.
You know, the FAC allocation, they go to China, Abuja. You're going to see what's happening with oil price. You know, with a lot of our tankers, our tankers offshore now, looking for where to sell. I'm told that we have not even met oil sales for some time now. What are they going to share? So you're going to see state revenues are going to come very, very low. And it's made worse by the fact that for most of the 36 states of the federation, about 17 of them, their internally generated revenue is not up to 10% of their FAC allocation.
Yes, true. Sure.
So they fund themselves by going to Abuja every month to go and share money. And so where's the money to share now when oil price is at $18 or $20? You know, so I'm saying that the situation we had in 2015 when the present government came into power, where there was a backlog of salaries, is going to most likely happen again. Going to happen again. And so a lot of banks again who lent money to civil servants based on salary payments are going to be in problem. You know, so it's a difficult situation, you know, for the banking industry. And I'm wishing everybody the best.
Wow. Okay. So I hear you and I agree mostly, but I think that there might be some, what will I call it? Some silver lining somewhere. And perhaps that's around, silver lining around digital banking. So for banks who have the capacity to do a digital play, for banks who have the capacity to have an app that people, whether they are locked down or not, can use, can download, open accounts, use those apps, for people can transact business, buy airtime, pay for services, pay for goods and services online, real time, and those apps are reliable. It would seem like that play would be the way to go for banks. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And I must commend Nigerian banks, that Nigerian banks, compared to what I see around Africa, especially, have pushed digital banking to the highest levels. You know, and but you see, you saw what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday? You know, when banks opened yesterday, did you see the crowd?
Yes.
Did you see the crowd? You know, did you see the crowd?
I did.
What does that speak to you about? That the fact that so many, a large population of the bank customers still do not have the digital banking facility. One, remember that digital banking, again, rests on the quality of infrastructure in our country. You know, there was a time I drove around Ikoyi here one Saturday. I went to about 5 different banks ATMs, and none of them was working. None of them was working. And some of them took my card, accepted the debit, but refused to dispense cash. So the quality of infrastructure of our country, you know, has messed up the digital banking. Now, because you're in Lagos here, you know, the quality here is maybe about 70%. Try and step out of Lagos and go and try other states and see the quality of the digital banking. You find the quality is very, very bad. So it rests on the backbone of infrastructure we have in Nigeria. And infrastructure in Nigeria is very, very weak. Very, very weak. So because the typical ATM you have here has a SIM card inside it.
Yes.
The typical ATM has a SIM card inside it. So look at your calls, the amount of drop calls. Make calls from here to Abuja. You are talking on the phone, the call will just drop. The level of drop calls in Nigeria is still very high. And that can affect the quality of the ATMs. So I'm saying, I agree with you totally, that the way to go is digital banking. But there's a limit. That frustration is there. That frustration, at the time, things are getting better now, but at the time, remember, they will debit you, there will be no reversal.
Yes.
The debit, there will be no reversal. And that hurts the confidence. You know, when we're trying to stretch financial inclusion, you know, that limited the amount of people we can bring into the digital nets because of the fact that they didn't trust the system. They didn't trust the system. The other thing that's happened also is theft, cyber theft. A lot of people's money miss, and nobody can explain it to them. You know, they go to the banks. The service quality in the banks is very low. You go to the banks for reversal, it's like passing through the eye of a needle. You know, so those are limiting factors for digital banking. But I agree with you. That's the way. That's the way. Where it works, that's the way. But see, I was in banking when we used to climb trees to get service network. To call when I was the regional manager in Guarantee Trust Bank in the East, in Aba, we used to drive on the road looking for network. To call Lagos to confirm balancing. You know, what is balance? But so I must say that we have come far.
A long way.
But that's still way to go. A long way to go.
Okay. All right. So again, the IMF just approved a loan of 3.4 billion US. Not million, not naira, USD. They have 18 billion for Africa. Of that 18, they've given Nigeria $3.4 billion.
The king of Africa.
Yes. So can we say, hey, IMF money to the rescue? All is now good. We have 3.4 billion. Let's ride.
You know, I was reading, let me just put some perspective here. I was reading an article that was published in New York Times on October 8, 1985. You know, it was an interview they had with the then president, Ibrahim Babangida. And he said that then that Nigeria must expect a lot of bad times, a lot of sacrifices. Those are his words. I said even more, the country must brace for a sharp drop in the price of oil, which is only our oil sort of revenue. This is 1985, 35 years ago. Then, listen to this. He says, perhaps it is one of the reasons why it's necessary, this is Babangida speaking, to diversify the economy so that we shift emphasis from oil to other commodities. Listen to this. By this time next year, this is 1985, this is him speaking.
Yes.
By this time next year, we should be very, very self-sufficient in food. We should be able to feed ourselves and meet all our food requirements. 1985, 35 years ago. Now, listen to this. I'm trying to build up to something, please. As a condition for granting the loan, the IMF loan then, IMF called for Nigeria to devalue its currency,
yes,
the naira, and end the practice of subsidizing petroleum products for consumers. 1985, 35 years ago.
Wow.
Then it goes. The tremendous difference between official and unofficial rates has led to rampant smuggling.
Yes.
That has sharply curtailed Nigeria's ability to sell manufactured goods abroad 35 years ago. And it says, today, General Babangida refused to say whether oil subsidies will be lifted and virtually ruled out any sharp devaluation of our nation's currency. Now, the last thing I want to show you this. Guess what was the oil price then? $28 per barrel. 1985. So you can see, what are we doing? We are moving around in what?
Round the same circle. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
In circles. In 1999, when the Obasanjo came into power, it was issue of like, we diversify the economy. We are a monoproduct economy. We diversify the economy. You know, because remember the oil price fell that time. It's very low.
$8 to $9 then, yes. $8
to $9. This is an opportunity for the diversified economy. We must shift the economy. We must go back to the granite pyramids, the palm oil of the East, the cocoa of the West. Then, oil price moved up again, and we forgot about it.
Sure.
Then, in 2008-2009 financial crisis, opportunity to diversify the economy. We'll go back to oil, granite, pyramids, palm kernel. Oil prices moved again, even to $100 per barrel. What about it?
Forget about it.
2015, recession. Oh no, it must happen now.
Now it is. Now or never.
Now or never. We must, oil prices moved again. We forgot about it. Then COVID has come now. The Minister for Finance has said the same thing. This is an opportunity. Our CBN governor said this is the time to profit from the crisis. So you find that Nigeria is moving round and round. And at each time, what do you go? From 1985, it was same IMF. Now, 35 years after, who again? IMF. Now, let me put it this way. The fiscal deficit of Nigeria is about $9 billion.
Yes.
Now, the $3.4 billion is a mere drop in the ocean for us. But you see, when you're hungry, a spoon of rice is better than nothing at all. So we'll receive it. Now, the immediate effect of those are what? The $3.4 billion will come in, enter our reserves. Yes. You recall that the way our reserves have been cratering, have been falling,
yes,
has, you know, removed confidence of the foreign portfolio investors. Squeeze strategy, our CBN governor used to build up our reserves historically.
Yes.
So
yes,
our 33.5 billion of reserves now, if it is counted for maturing portfolio investors, it's about $20 billion. That's about the real reserves that we have. $20 billion of reserves.
Give or take. Yes, absolutely.
Give or take. You know? And so $3.4 billion coming in will help our reserves, you know, give confidence to CBN to continue to support the FS market, and then provide, when compared to Naira, help us in funding some of our operations, principally the health sector, you know, and then hopefully. But is it the silver bullet? No. It's not a solution to our problem. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Our budget for this year was about over 10 trillion.
Yes.
Out of that 10 trillion, over 2 trillion of it was to service debt.
Debt service, yes.
As of December, our debt position was about 27.4 trillion. 27.4 trillion.
Yes, as of December 2019.
Talking about above 2 trillion. 2 trillion out of a 10 trillion budget. So whatever money that comes in, how are we going to do it? And you know, the government says, now one of the parameters you use in checking the debt level of every country is what they call the debt to the GDP ratio. Debt to the GDP ratio. For ours, it's about 21%. It shows the capacity of the economy to take on more debt. For economies of our size or similar countries, yes, debt to GDP ratio hovers around maybe 50-60%. So ours is still low. So on the basis of that, we still have a capacity to take more debt. But you see, that's not the only thing that's happening. Those debt that you take, you must service them.
Yes.
And what do you service them from? Your revenues. So out of the 10 billion budgeted this year, we are putting about 10 trillion budgeted this year. 2 trillion is going to service the debt.
Debt.
And see, that's the problem. So about 20%, 60% of our revenues is going towards servicing our debt. And only 40% is then available to do other things for us. So you see the problem.
And that is, and this assumption is on the oil price, benchmark price we use for the budget, not at current oil price. So actually,
yes.
but
yes, so
okay. I'm almost out of time, but I don't want. There are lots of people who are listening, who are watching, and they're looking for the silver lining in all of this. Normally, when we discuss economics and deal with the facts and the numbers, people always say to me, "Why is it always gloom and doom? Why do you people always present gloom and doom?" And I'm like, "But that's the fact. You can't present facts as sacred, right?" But I think that there must be some, in every crisis, there are opportunities. I believe that opportunities are birthed from crisis, that in crisis situation, I was telling somebody recently that Airbnb started in 2008 during the global financial crisis. It grew to become a company of $38 billion. So in this crisis, people that are listening and watching you right now, and they're saying, I'm seeing all the comments, and some are saying, we're in trouble. Some are saying, now, wow. Some are saying, in God we trust. I can see all the comments. But I want you to just, in the next 2 minutes, tell the people that are listening, entrepreneurs, people looking for a job, people believing for a breakthrough of some sort to survive through this, where can we find the opportunities in this difficult situation we are in? Where are the opportunities?
When you have 200 million people, you know, there are two areas you can't go wrong with.
Okay.
One is food. Food. What you eat. 200 million people. What do you eat? And that's agriculture. The other one is, where do you live? Where do you live? Which is accommodation. real estate, the properties. So you can't go wrong in that. So whether it's COVID or no COVID, you must always eat food. Check it out. During this crisis, what happened? What thrived? A lot of people started cooking. Yeah, everybody became entrepreneur about cooking food. But what I'm saying is this, that we must find ways of going back to agriculture, either individually or cooperatively. Either individually or cooperatively. And that's my recommendation for everybody. You must find, even in your own gardens, even in your gardens, even if it's just to plant leaves, onubu leaves, green, ogo, all those things, even if it's to start from there, yams, even fish, even if it's fish, get some big tanks, big water tanks, and start something about fish. Anything that has to do with agriculture, I recommend it for people. Super. The other thing I want to say before I leave is this: accountability. Did you see what has happened? All the money we have in this country for the states that have been budgeting. Did you see the health facility? Our health facility is in shambles. Our state governors go to collect money from Abuja and come and share. They don't build any infrastructure. The hospitals are run down. Nothing is happening. So we need to raise our level of accountability, and so that the next time that we're going to vote, let's worry about, because our lives are at stake. No matter how much you have now, Sam, you can't go anywhere for it. You will have to go to any hospital in Lagos here. True. So all those people who just fly to India, like, fly now.
No, there's no flights. There's no India.
So we need to worry about those who represent us and have stake in that. So I recommend agriculture for everybody, one way or the other. Get into the value chain of agriculture. Get into it. You don't have to have a big farm. No matter how small it is, get involved. Find a way to get involved. Find a way to participate. Find out what to eat. And it's very important. To hold the people who govern us accountable. And so that all this money that we're borrowing now will not leave it for our children.
Wow, super. That's a very good place to leave it. Let me thank you very much. Okay, before I do that, let me take 1 more minute of your time. And I'm going to apologize to Zuri for taking 1 minute of his time. One key question that I've been asked in this period. Some people definitely, it doesn't matter whether people believe it or not, there'll be job losses. That's going to happen. There'll be job losses. So the question I've been asked is, there'll be job losses. What should we do? Should we become more entrepreneurial, or should we dust up our CV and start looking for more jobs? What would you advise?
Reskilling. There are some jobs now that it's like going to US now. Some people who read even bank in Nigeria turn out to be nurses there, because the nurse is the job that sells or in US. Yes. Reskilling. I tell a lot of people that what you read in university is your first degree. I had opportunity to speak to some graduate students in Ife the other day, where my alma mater, and I just told them that your first degree is just a certificate. Don't start looking for jobs. Everybody now must find ways of being an entrepreneur, either individually or in partnership. It can be cleaning business. It can be soap making. I have companies that are training people on how to do soap, chin, so many other things that have to do with food. You learn the skills. So don't depend only on those. So while you are even carrying your CVs around, learn those skills so that you can start making money. So reskilling, IT reskilling, even IT reskilling. Even so many things are happening online now. Digital marketing is the major thing now. Okay, go and learn that. There are courses you can run, you can learn, you can do to acquire those skills. So reskilling. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of stepping out to new things. Don't be afraid. Leave your room, leave your bed, go and learn new skills.
Leave your comfort zone.
Yeah, leave your comfort zone.
Okay, well, this is where we absolutely have to wrap it on this segment of our conversation today. I want to thank you on behalf of VBank. I want to thank you very much for being our very first guest on the economy and finance and all of that. And I know that the people who have listened have learned one thing or the other. We learned that agriculture is the way to go, real estate is the way to go. We need to reskill. We need to learn, unlearn, relearn. That's what I hear from you. And we need to just take the bull by the horn and don't be afraid and go well and above our comfort zone and just keep on going. But thank you very much. On behalf of VBank, I'd like to thank you. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to send you a cap like this one, so that next time when I talk to you, you must be wearing a VBank cap, all right?
And open an account for me. I need to open an account.
I'm calling you immediately after this for the account opening, so that we will just get that in place. Next time,
I recommend the account to everybody.
Please say it again. Say it again. Please say it again.
I recommend the VBank account to everybody.
I hope you people heard. All right. Thank you very much, sir. We're very grateful. Thank you. Thank you, and thanks for doing this. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Wow, that was a fantastic time that we just had with Chika Mbono, who is a seasoned banker, and you heard it right from him. He's somebody that knows, and I say he's somebody that you should listen to and should implement what he says. Now I'm going to quickly go to the next segment and have the next conversation. We're bringing on board all the questions I've seen about VBank. I'm going to bring the person who can answer all these questions. Zubi, where are you? I'm looking for your request to join my feed. I'm going to be bringing on Zubi right now, and he's going to be able to answer all your questions. Every question you have about the V app, the VBank, all of that, this is where it's going to happen. And something is brewing, something new is coming up in the VBank whole ecosystem, and that's what we're going to be speaking about right now. I'm just waiting for the
good evening, Sammy. I'm here.
Okay, I can't see you yet. I can't see your video yet. It's still showing me a bit connecting. Maybe these were the issues that Chika was talking about. But for some reason, I can't see you yet, but I can hear you. It's just still showing me connecting here. All right.
I'm moving my head and it's not moving on my screen. So it seems we are hanging somewhere.
Okay. Hopefully it will come up, but I can hear you. All right. So Zubi,
sorry, internet connection has been terrible today.
Yeah. So we understand that everybody's at home and some people are working from home and everybody seems to be using the same internet. So let me try and get Zubi back again. Zubi, just request to join my video again. Please do. And I would add you again. I'm waiting for Zubi to come. Zubi is the MD CEO of VFD Microfinance Bank. He's the man who knows all about the VBank and what is something is cooking. And yeah.
You know, hello, I can see Nonso's comment. He said this is spiritual. Obosi man, this is spiritual. So I'm wondering which Obosi man is referring to.
Well, we are taking care of the spiritual. We are in charge.
I have no fear of the spirit when I'm talking with my bishop.
No spiritual issues here. So,
good evening, Bishop.
Good evening, my brother, and welcome everybody again to this second segment. And I'm speaking to Mr. Zubi K. Emodi, who is the MD CEO of VFD MFD. He is the man behind the scenes, making sure that all of you that downloaded the app, when you do your transactions, everything is working. So now, any questions you have about the V app, this is the time to ask it. But very quickly, Zubi, I want you to, once again, just imagine that those of us listening, we don't know anything about the V app. Just in 2 minutes, tell us about the V app, the VBank, and how we can be part of it.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. V app is your virtual bank. Everything you've ever wanted in your bank resides in the V, and lots more. I mean, we've gone beyond what you currently need to look at what are the possible things that what are the possible needs that can come up based on the exigencies of business or transactions that might come up, whatever, however you play it. So we've looked at it end to end, and we've defined and designed an app that takes care of that banking need. Chika mentioned the crowding in the banking halls yesterday. You can imagine what, a lot of people chatted me about those crowding of the banking halls, and something I told them very easily. 99.9% of the issues they went to the bank to resolve could have been resolved by logging in on the V app. From dispute resolution to inquiries, to sending money to people, to withdrawals. For goodness sake, with all the conversation we are having about COVID and the way it lasts on paper and other materials, why would you want to be carrying around cash? Why do you want to be touching cash at this point in time, going to market paying cash? A lot of people, surprisingly, a lot of people you wouldn't even think about. I went out to buy apples the other day. I paid with transfer. And it's as simple as that. So many things that you could do on every other app, any other payment platform, and lots more. We pride ourselves in the lots more part because we also talk about investments. So it just goes beyond banking, paying, making deposits, withdrawing money, transferring money to people. It goes beyond that. What if you want to make an investment? Do I need to walk into a physical banking space to make an investment? If I need to monitor my investment, if I need to get a contract note for my investment, do I need to walk into a banking hall to get that done? And the times we are in now, we are exposing ourselves, but not just ourselves. We're also exposing the bankers, residing in those or working from those spaces. So as much as possible, the V app is the tool you need for your daily living, from data recharge to airtime recharge, to making payment to people, to, if you want to send someone, if someone is stranded, he doesn't have a card, you can also generate a cardless token for the person to walk into any ATM. We don't recommend people going to ATM machines at this point, but if someone is stranded, we would recommend you take the necessary precaution, then use your token, walk into any ATM and make those withdrawals.
Fantastic.
Go ahead.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Zudi. Whilst you were talking, a few questions came in, and I want you to just quickly take those questions, and then we will go into the conversation around what is the new thing that is in stock for everyone who's watching us. Someone asked, and I'm going to ask you 3 questions in one. Number 1, Nigerians abroad. Someone said Nigerians abroad. How do I open an account? Second question is, how do I withdraw from the money? If I have money in my account, if I want to make a withdrawal, how do I withdraw? And the third one is, how do I pay money into the bank? I appreciate if you take the 3 of them together.
All right. So for Nigerians abroad, as long as you have a BVN, for regulatory compliance, the minimum requirement to own a VBank account is a BVN. For those of us that don't have BVN, when we resume, we'll be willing to point you to places where we can quickly register you and generate your BVN. But if you already have a BVN and you're abroad, all you would need right now is to have a Nigerian line where you can receive a token, because we need to validate your BVN. But we are also doing some other forms of validation, which will come up very shortly, where you can also use international numbers to validate on the app. Because you notice that if you go on the app to try to register, it only allows for Nigerian phone numbers. So for the next update, which we are going to release anytime soon, you are going to see that you can also use your international numbers. So don't worry, that offer and that opportunity to bank with we is coming to you very quickly. The second question is around being able to put money into your account. To put money into your account, what you log into, I think the second question was around the transfers. How do I take out money from my account? So there are different options to take out money from your account. The first option, you can make a transfer to any bank. So get the account number of the person you want to transfer to any bank. You log onto the app, you use the transfer function, then you can transfer to any bank. Depending on your KYC compliance within the bank, you can transfer different amounts as high as 2, 5, 20 million. So depending on your KYC limits. So it's available. Once you put in money in the bank, it's not stuck there. You can always wire it out. And more interestingly, VBank has a 0 balance requirement policy. So you are not required to keep any balance in the account. If you have 1 million naira and you need to wire out 1 million naira, by all means, you can send out 1 million naira. I'll still come back to talk about charges because there are no charges. So if you wire 1 million, it's 1 million. There's no
wait,
naira.
Zubi, hold on. I just need you to repeat this. So you're telling me that on the V Bank for transactions, those transfers, there are no charges.
Absolutely no charges. So whether you're transferring to another V Bank account or you're transferring to any other bank and any other amount, it's absolutely free. We absorb that cost. We also absorb the cost of your alert charges. So we don't charge you all the 4 naira waiting for end of month to debit you the accumulation of 4 naira debits. We take that cost on your behalf. It's something that we agreed to do, as a way to encourage our clients and also redistribute the gains of digitization, which we are obviously benefiting on this app. So if you want to transfer money, you can transfer to anybody. If you have any need to withdraw cash, post the COVID break, our cards are ready. We are done with the testing phase. So for our clients that require cards, yes, you will get cards. But right now, if you want to withdraw cash, you can simply generate a cashless token on your app and walk into any ATM, punch in the numbers, and your cash will be released to you. It's fantastic. One of the very wonderful features you benefit on this app. Then your third question was around how do I put money in the account?
Yes,
to put money in the account. Log into your app and you'll see your account number. Your account number is right on the top page of your app. Once you log in, you see right at the top of your dashboard. Go to any other payment platform, whether bank or non-bank. You will see VFD Microfinance Bank on that platform. Select VFD Microfinance Bank, put in your account number, and your home and dry, your money is in your account.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, now to the interesting part. So I hear there is something called Village, spelled as VWELAGE. Please, what is this about? Are you about taking us back to our villages? Are you taking banking to the village? What are you doing? What is Village all about? Tell us.
Well, if you permit me to ask you one question before I answer your own question.
Please
do you have your own village? Because if you don't have your own village, the VEE, you need to go back to your VIL. I mean, the village is our referral program. It's designed to, more or less create employment. So see it this way. Most people want to work in a bank. Yes. We can't have 1 million people in our physical space working with us. So if you say you're a digital bank, that means you can also employ people to work for you digitally, and they get handsomely rewarded for the work they do. So it's the same concept of being an account officer in a bank. So in this case, you're a digital account officer. You have your referral code. It's a referral program. So to join the referral program, you need to register and generate a referral code. So with your referral code, any client that signs on to the V with your referral code is tracked for you. So you are like their account officer. The difference is that there's limits to what information we expose to them because, you are not a full staff. But in terms of earnings, you are as good as any other person. And it can start from as low as the minimum is 30,000. So there's no lower below 30,000. The first point that you have signed on is 30,000. The good news is we started this program, we started testing it out. A lot of people signed on. We are just launching it now, but it's been ongoing. The first set of people that signed on to the program, we had over about 35 of them that we paid either yesterday or maybe early this morning for the first set of people that joined. So for the next set, imagine that your very first earning is 30,000. Then the next step is 50,000, 150,000, up to 2 million naira. It's not once you sign up, you get 2 million. No, there's a lot of work that's required for you to get to that level where you earn as high as 2 million. But it's a straightforward referral program. The clients you bring on board, I don't know, for the people that are listening to me, I would encourage you, if anybody comes to you or to anybody that you know and says, use my referral code and open a VBank account. Please encourage them and open that account using their referral code, because by doing so, you are helping keep them in employment. Over the past 1 week, we've had different shares, and you had the very mind-blowing figures from Chika. The economy is bad. People are going to lose jobs. More people will lose their jobs. America, 20 million people filed for unemployment. If as advanced as they are battling with those issues, I would figure that we would also battle with similar issues. But with the village project, if once you sign on the village, your power to be employed rests solely in your hands. You know, if you work very hard at it, you will grow very fast. You become a steady earner on the platform.
Okay.
The other part
so,
of that, okay.
I need you to walk me through this gradually. We still have a few minutes, and I want us in the next 5 minutes to walk us through this. So I'm listening to you today. I want to become a villager and start earning money through it. What's the first thing, second thing, third thing, step by step that I need to do? I heard you talked about registering and getting a code. How do I register? How do I get a code? What do I need to do to reach the first stage where I start getting paid monthly as a villager? Just talk us through that.
All right. So, like I would always say, the first thing is making up your mind that you want to take charge of your finances. You want to take charge of your destiny. Beyond that, you now say, okay, I've made up my mind. The first thing you do is to, first of all, before you refer people to VBank, you first of all have to be a VBank client. So you register, you download the V by VFD app on Play Store, create an account. Once you have created an account, you log into your account. You would see a button called a More button. I'm sure at some point we'll design it to pop up, you know, without you going to the More button. You see the More button. You click on the More button. It will take you to a page where you now see Start Your Own Bank. The concept of the referral program is that you are your bank. You are the owner of the bank. You are the owner of the village. So as you're starting your own bank, you are raising a new village. So you click on Start Your Own Bank. Then you now register for the referral program. Once registered, you now get a referral code. That referral code is what you share to your friends, your family, your colleagues, your staff. So that when they now want to create an account with V, they have to put that referral code to create their account. That way, your code tracks everything under you. So something I mentioned I very quickly want to elaborate on is we have a lot of SMEs that are adversely affected by the economic downturn that's coming with this COVID-19. If you have I'll come back to the numbers, sorry, Sam. If you have a lot of people working under you, why don't you, as an SME, get them to earn their salaries account through V? That way, you are paying them their salary. They have 100% of their monies to withdraw. But as a company, because you've done that, you also earn some income. So if you run a cooperative, you are the head of the cooperative, you can earn money for your cooperative by just getting all your members bank with V. So the first step, you need 25 active clients to qualify to start earning. And what we consider active clients are clients that have, you know, average balance of 2,000 per month on the account. Remember, I said earlier on, we don't have a minimum balance requirement. So we are not mandated for people to give money in the account. But if you say you want to earn money from referring people to bank with us, then there should be some minimum balance to justify you being on that first step. So it goes on from 25 to 50 and so on and so forth till you are earning 2 million naira a month. And it's not impossible because we have people already earning on those different levels. So I would encourage us, you would see some of the villagers, I can see some people that are already on the program typing out the links on